Hello and welcome to my lab video for Lab 7 Experiment 3, which actually Exercise 1. But here we have our goal was to have two switches, switch 1, switch 2, and have switch 1 control the PWM, the duty cycles of the motor. So it would go from 0 to 30 to 60 and then to 100 and then back to 0. Each time it would go from either 0 to 30 when we press the button once. We press it again, it would go from 30 to 60, press the button again, 60 to 100, and then press the button again, 100 to 0. And then for our switch 2, which was originally supposed to be PF0, port F pins 0, which is this button right here, it was supposed to wait if it's not at stopped, so at 0, and it would not at 0 duty cycle, it'll basically stop the motor for 2 seconds, and then if it was spinning counterclockwise, start spinning clockwise. If it was spinning clockwise, it would start spinning counterclockwise. So, but the problem was that this switch is dead, and I tried shorting it out. I tried using an LED to test for continuity. Nothing worked. It is basically dead. I tried using the code to put in switch 1's code, switch 2's code onto switch 1, and it worked upon initializing the duty cycle to the first, second value of the array, which is 1, because its array started at 0. So, and so that worked, and it changed the direction of the motor. So I realized that I had to use an external button. So that's what I did. Instead of PF0, it is now connected to PB3, and as you can see there, and here's the external switch, and it's connected to ground, just as a regular switch would be. And also in our code, it has been connected to a pull-up resistor, just as PF0 would have been. So let's go ahead and turn on this code. So if we go ahead and reset, we can see that when we press the button, it'll go ahead and go to 30, press it again, 60, press it again, 100, press it again, 0. So let's go ahead and go to, like, for example, 60. So if we're at 60 right now, and then we press this button, nothing's going to happen because we didn't code it to that button. But if we press the switch 2, which is PB3, it's going to go ahead, wait 2 seconds, and start going the other way. So it works. And how it works is basically there are 2 if statements and a while loop. And so the first if statement is for switch 1, the first switch, and that basically tells the motor to go increment the duty cycles until it gets to 4, which is because we only have 4 duty cycles, and once it reaches the last one, it's supposed to loop back to 0. And so it does that. And number 2 basically checks, both of these use falling edge, by the way, falling edge detection. And number 2, however, basically it checks if the duty cycle isn't 0, and if it's not 0, then it'll go ahead and set the duty cycle to 0, which will stop the motor for 2 seconds. And then after that, it'll invert the current on PA2, it'll invert the current on PA3, basically changing the direction of the motor, because if you switch the polarities of the 2 wires, it's basically going to go the other way, and then it's going to return to whatever in value in the array was before. And then it's going to go ahead and update the pre-switches of both, and it's going to wait. So that's kind of how it works. And of course there was config, and that's explained in the lab. So yeah, it works. Yay.